So the target students of this material is class A class, the first semester of MTS Matul Ilhuda Troso. And the competence indicator, there are the first is understanding dalil and zakat lomal, and then the second identifying zakat mal and zakat fitrah. The third is analyzing zakat mal and zakat fitrah practice, and the fourth is practice the ordinance of implement. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, ma'am.
How is today?
Good. And you?
I'm very well, thank you. Let's open our study by reciting Basmalah together. Is there anyone absent today?
Complete, ma'am.
That's good. So, are you prepared for study today?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay, guys, let's review a little bit about our last meeting lesson. So, is there anyone want to talk about it or maybe give an example?
Ma'am, fasting in the month of Ramadan.
Yes, good. What's the meaning of fasting according to the language? Yes, Intan?
Fasting according to language comes from the Arabic "swam", which means restraint.
Okay. Nice. Did you ever give anything obligatory to poor during Ramadan?
I think yes, ma'am.
Okay. Please look at the slide. There are 5 pillars of Islam. But do you know about the number 3?
Yes, ma'am. Zakat, ma'am.
Good, zakat. So today we are going to learn more about zakat. With what you usually pay zakat with money or rice?
Both, ma'am, but more often with rice.
Oh yes, nice. Thank you, Sophie. And to whom zakat is given?
Pauper.
Awesome. Now I will show you a video about how to pay zakat. About 2 minutes, and please watch it.
With a mandatory charity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as I mentioned in the second episode, normally joined as-salah and az-zakah together. Whenever he said, وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ, and offer the prayers, establish the salah and give the zakah. And az-zakah is a very interesting act of worship, because it does not only benefit the person who's given or doing the act of worship, rather it benefits the poor people, the needy ones. So it guarantees a welfare for the whole community. It makes people care about each other. It makes people love each other. Allah the Almighty prescribed a very small percentage on one's saving or investment to be given to the poor. We help ourselves. We help the poor from amongst ourselves, and we help ourselves because it purifies our wealth, it purifies our hearts, and it sanctifies ourselves. Sadaqah, a charity, it's a small percentage. For instance, on one's wealth, if it is investment or saving, gold, silver or cash, trade or stocks, is only 2.5%. Whom should we give our zakat to? The ayah goes on and on to describe 8 categories of those who are eligible for the collection of the zakat. But the general description of those 8 categories is poverty, because they are poor, they are needy. That's why the first and the second categories were mentioned, al-fuqara and al-masakin. The poor people who can barely survive, have children to support, they cannot afford to pay the rent, they don't have any saving, any investment, and so on. And it is not a big deal. It's only 2.5%, something very little. Out of every 1,000 bucks, you just give 25. No big deal. It's like you're buying a sandwich to help the poor.
Okay guys, do you get the point based on the video?
Zakat can clear our soul, ma'am.
Good job, Sylvie. Okay, please look at the PowerPoint slide. Zakat in Arabic language is zakah, which means which purifies. Zakat is a form of almsgiving to the Muslim Ummah treated in Islam as a religious obligation, which by Quranic ranking is the next after prayer, salat in importance. Zakat in turn is an obligation to put forth a portion of the developing property of a Muslim who has no obligation to those who have no obligation, not binding of any Muslim, but only Muslim who have access, as for the access limits of the treasure known as nisab. And you can find at At-Taubah ayat 103 about zakat. There are two kinds of zakat. The first is zakat al-fitr, or zakat of breaking of the fast of Ramadan, is the special required charity that is paid by all Muslims at the end of the holy month of Ramadan in the end of the Islamic calendar. Zakat produce was staple food in local communities. The staple food in Medina was tangible dates, millet, and grapes, so that Rasulullah ordered to release the anakri that was their food. There are three times the zakat fitr's execution is. The first is from beginning of the Ramadan to the last day of the Ramadan fast, and the second from Maghrib last day of the Ramadan until shortly before the 8 prayers, and the third after Salat Eid has been done. The staple food we share is no longer the emic tables, it's just a handout. The second is zakat mal. Zakat mal, commonly referred to as zakat by most Muslims. Zakat was required to pay annually for which that include money, gold, silver, and property. That takes into account your total net asset. The amount of zakat mal that should be paid by any Muslim will vary because of the 2.5 net worth a person possesses for a year. Here, the obligatory condition for zakat mal includes: the first is Islam, freedom, perfect proprietary, expanding, has fulfilled his nisab, and the necessity have been met. Okay, and the next time is quiz. I have two quiz, and please raise your hand if you want to answer the questions. The first is, what the time is more afdal for paying zakat fitrah?
In the end of Ramadan, ma'am.
And the next question is, how to measure zakat or size? Kilogram of rice.
2.5 kilograms of rice.
Yes, amazing. Good job to you all, guys. All of you can answer the questions. Any questions so far? Okay, if not any, because time is up, let's close our study by reciting Hamdalah together. Okay guys, so don't forget to do the assignment that I have shared on WhatsApp group, and the due date is tomorrow at 11 p.m. and see you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillahirobbilalamin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.